Well, hey, I'm Treesap, and I've been playing Arms of God. This is a Doom-inspired roguelike with bullet hell elements, and you're just descending down through hell trying to basically cut it off from the human world and not let it be unleashed upon everything. And this game is genuinely fun, just outright a good time. And it's probably going to get better because it's only in early access right now, but you're playing as a priest. You can have up to 5 weapons, and these weapons can be modified by putting basically different skills onto them, different buffs, and they can also be combined together, so you can be layering these things over. And if you fill out the number of enhancements to a weapon and then you combine it with another weapon of a similar type, or just any weapon at all really, because you can combine any weapon with another, but when you combine it to a weapon of the same type, it just becomes one singular slot on that weapon, but you keep all the buffs and all the things and all the upgrades you added to it, and you have multiple of these at once, and keep going. You can combine it up to like 4, at least where I've gotten to, because I've made it through like the regular mode. I'm on nightmare difficulties and stuff like that, but you bind them together and you can really just create a cool build. And especially because there's different classes for your priest, so that kind of changes how things go, and you can kind of decide on your build by choosing a class, but you can really kind of build anything you want as long as you're going through and getting enough money to do so, because this is time, so you only have so much time to go through, take out enemies. And there's also things you interact in the environment that will give you basically new recipes for weapons. They'll give you some bonuses during that run, and they can all kind of come together. It's really up to you if you do them, but it's necessary a little bit if you want to unlock all these different things, or just kind of give yourself a little boost on your run, because things can get very difficult, especially as you go up in a different difficulty, and especially when you get to bosses, because as you go on, there'll be more and more bosses through each run on each level, and everything just gets far more intense, and a different variety of enemies will come along as well. And the simplicity of this game is something that kind of adds to it. The basic layout is all your weapons have cooldowns. They go off automatically. They don't have to. You can change the controls around. You can do everything by hand, but the basic right out of the box, when you boot it up, you're just going to be controlling your character's movements and things like that. And that's kind of how I went through the whole game, because that's fun, it's enjoyable, and you're mostly going to be focused around avoiding enemies, dodging their attacks, and keeping your distance, avoiding projectiles. That's when the bullet hell elements come in, and keeping the right amount of distance based on your build, because there's ranged weapons and there's melee weapons. You combine both together and have a variety of things, so you kind of have to choose how you're going to play based on that. But there's so many different upgrades you can have and buffs, because I talked about how you can add things to weapons. You can also have just passive buffs to yourself that will give you different modifiers, and there's also XP you gain throughout a run that will allow you to unlock different skills that go for your cross, because you have a cross in the center that's placed right at the beginning, and this can give you different abilities. It can make your elemental attacks deal more damage, because all weapons are put into different elements. Primary ones are just holy, fire, and electric, but there's more things you can add onto it that can change things around and do different types of damage. Because like I said, there's a whole wide variety of modifiers, and as you go through and defeat bosses, you'll be able to unlock different little places in the hub world that will let you unlock different things, unlock different skills, and add them onto your character that can make the next run better, and even give you some permanent stat boosts. And with the different classes you unlock, that also adds on to something as well. So there's a good amount of variety. Also, the game does a spectacular job at wrapping up difficulty in a reasonable fashion. As you progress through the different levels, you progress through the different difficulties, and you never feel like, oh, this is just unfair, this is not really done well. No, everything kind of wraps up in a way where it feels good. I didn't really have too many moments where I felt like I died because of the game just fucking me over. No, I died because I was positioning myself poorly. I got distracted by something else, and I just got hit too many times. You know, I wasn't keeping proper distance from the enemies. I got too close, and my build was not set up for that, or I stood in place in a area that I knew a projectile was about to hit for some reason. And the game runs well, so you're not going to have any technical issues that are going to mess you up. I did run into a singular glitch that I noticed twice. It's when you unlock the ability to pick up the cross, because it is an object that usually is stationary, but when you unlock the ability to have skills and level up and such, then you are able to, sometimes, if it pops up, because everything is randomly generated, you never really know what you're going to get after every level when you get to choose your level up skill. If you earned enough XP on that section of the run, it could be anything. You can shuffle through it if you have enough money, but you're gonna have to spend that same money that you would have spent on weapons or upgrades for weapons or buffs on shuffling through it. And sure, at the beginning it's relatively cheap, but it does increase over time if you're doing it more and more, and it gets to a point where you're kind of just, hey, every cent counts. I want to be able to get this particular thing because something really good might pop up, and you can lock it in, you can get it next time, but you're kind of messing with progression a bit, depending on how good the things you got and what type of build you're going for. So you might not always be half. But yeah, you can pick up the cross, and sometimes if you're clicking on it because there's a little gauge that has to go up, you press E, it glows green, it's going up, it's going up. Sometimes you stop too soon, it'll get stuck halfway on there and you'll still be crouching, which can put you in an awkward situation where you might get hit a few times. I died from it once and that was upsetting, but usually you just have to kind of continue the action. It can be kind of shocking when it happens, but luckily it was not a reoccurring thing, and that's really the only thing I ran into. Besides that, the game ran spectacularly. There was not really any problems there. And like I said, it is in early access, though there is more content that's going to come at some point, and I'm interested to see how that goes, because so far there is a good amount of content here. It's a good amount of things to do. It's fun. I would highly recommend it if this is the type of game that you believe you would like, or maybe you don't even like these type of games, but trying this out might be a good idea anyway, because this might be the one you do like. Because just given how it plays mechanically, it's pretty simple at face value, but there's a lot of room for getting better at it over time, and I think it's actually a rather rewarding game to play. That's pretty much all. I don't really know much more I can really explain about it. It's pretty simplistic conceptually and kind of just how it's laid out. I think you really had to play it to kind of get in depth of all the stuff that's there, that where there is a little bit of more to chew on. So yeah, I'm not even gonna ramble anymore. I'll just start spewing nonsense at some point. Probably already have, but yeah. That's all I have to say about this game. I recommend it. You should play it. I forgot what price it is, but it's not very expensive. I appreciate you watching this. You can like, subscribe, unsubscribe. You can really do whatever you please. I'm not in charge of you, but I appreciate you watching. Peace. I'm out.